Here we go, Lord Jamar.
Lad,
Welcome back.
what up?
I like the sweatshirt.
Oh, thank you. That's that brand Nubian gear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Available at www.hoodg.com. Go get yours today, you heard?
Right. I seen you advertising it on your Instagram.
Yeah, you know. We just trying to, you know what I was noticing? There's a lot of I'm seeing young hip hop people wearing classic rock and roll t-shirts and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Helping to make those type of groups just live on forever and be legendary. We gotta have some shit for our fucking legends and people too. You know what I mean? I wanna see more young motherfuckers wearing Public Enemy gear, brand Nubian. You know what I mean? Whoever got Tribe Called Quest, all of that type of shit. That's how we keep our fucking our ancestors alive.
Right. Now that logo with the two fingers, that came at the second album, I guess?
That came on the Foundation album.
Which was the...
That was, the third.
Okay.
Technically the third with all of Brand Nubian, but the fourth Brand Nubian album.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay. Arista.
Right. And what does it signify?
That's the real peace sign. See, united we stand, divided we fall. See, this is actually like the Roman sign for war. Okay? This is not the fucking peace sign. This is the ancient Kemetic sign for peace. Okay? But in the 5% Nation, we always been using the two fingers together as the peace sign.
Dope. I love it. So let's get into it.
Let's go.
Hollywood.
The
Hollywood sex scandals that keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's the proverbial Pandora's box.
Oh, yeah. You know, last time we talked, it was like Harvey Weinstein.
Right. Oh, and I love what's revealed since then because it reinforces some of the shit I said last time.
Well, since then, it spread to Kevin Spacey.
And he's the one that I'm happy that it spread to because that's what I'm talking about. It's not just men on women the way they're trying to portray that. This is about power. You know what I mean? It's just power on the powerless. It's not men against women. You got to understand, and if it is men against women, it's not all men against women. You understand what I'm saying? This is mainly a disease of most white men. If you look at Hollywood, who are the men in power in Hollywood?
Mostly white men.
Mostly white men. Middle-aged to older white men. How many black Hollywood executives are there really? And the ones that there are, probably half of them are homosexual. Let's keep it real.
Well, just recently, I don't know if you caught this or not, Benny Medina, who was the creator of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
And also Jennifer Lopez's manager a bunch of, managed a bunch of really, really big people.
He was Puffy's manager at one point.
He was Puffy's manager?
Before
Makes
J.
sense.
I think that's how he got J-Lo, actually.
Oh, okay. He was accused of attempted rape of a man. I didn't know he was gay.
Oh, I didn't knew that. Everybody knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in those types of circles.
I think he was an outwardly gay man, so that's not no.
Okay.
You're not blowing up his spot by saying that. He's outwardly gay man.
Well, I didn't know that Kevin Spacey was gay.
Well, I didn't know. A lot of people saying that because he wasn't really out, but look at how he talk and move. You can kind of, you know what I mean? You could kind of see it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't shocked.
I know he's a great actor.
Very
regardless
so.
What his sexual orientation is, he's a great fucking actor. But, he moved like he could have been kind of gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but I love the fact that he got multiple attacks on other men. Not that I'm saying I love that he's trying to sexually abuse other men, but it's just showing that this is not some battle between men and women, how it's trying to be framed in the media and by a lot of people. You hear these women talk about, oh, I love now women can stand up and talk about what's happened to them. Yeah, women can stand up and talk about it, but men can talk about it too if it's happened to them, because it's not just happening to women.
Right, because the guy that was accusing him of Benny Medina of the rape, I guess, was straight and was even like married at the time. He was trying to show him the wedding ring, was like, yo, I'm married, like, this ain't my thing.
And this is part of what's crazy about it too, because I don't know if I said this, but it's like, all right, any kind of sexual assault, yeah, it's fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Should not be done by anyone. But when a man, let's say, let's just say even approaches a woman, and he didn't do anything, but he approaches her in a sexual way, the chances are very high that that woman has dealt with a man before. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this woman is probably a heterosexual.
Right.
She deals with other men. She's had sex with a man. It's not super foreign. Maybe she don't like this fucking guy.
Right.
But she does like men. Okay? But then when you have a gay man who goes after a straight man who don't fuck with men at all.
Right.
That's a whole next level of some bullshit right there. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that kicks it up a fucking notch.
Well, right. I think, was it you that I talked to last time about how I had the gay dude try to run up on me?
Yeah, I think so.
In Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was traumatic to me.
He said that was traumatic.
It was traumatic.
It should be traumatic.
And luckily,
it should be.
And luckily, the guy that approached me was relatively small compared to me. So I knew that if he tried to go farther with it, I would just shove him back. And it wasn't, but if this dude was like, Shaq size or something, I could see how it could be a little scary to me. You know what I mean? Like, because I remember this one time. I was in Brazil, and I was walking down the street by myself, and it was a group of transsexuals, dressed with heels and everything. And I remember one of them trying to grab for me as I'm walking by.
Yo, why he try to grab for you? This is the second time, Vlad.
I know, right?
He never tried to grab for me, Vlad. I'm just saying. Like,
I'm just saying, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know what they seeing.
But I remember, I kind of did the little, Matrix, like, thing, like. And then, like, I started to walk, and then, like, I remember thinking, what if they try to chase me? This group of muscular transsexuals. There was about 6 or 7 of them.
Oh shit!
What
if they try to chase?
Yeah, like the clack, 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 clack. Because they were in the high heels. Right? Like, I was imagining the whole thing, like
and that was traumatic.
It was traumatic.
You see,
it was traumatic. Because it was like, what could I really? If them 6, 7 dudes got it in their mind that they wanted to take what they're gonna take, I'd be in a bad situation.
And that's like, I don't know, man. I think for a man, that's probably one of the biggest fears, you know what I mean? That you could be fucking raped by another man. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
And these motherfuckers is out here doing it in Hollywood, for real. They don't give a fuck. You married, whatever the case.
Right. Mr. Sulu, George Takai just got accused of trying to rape somebody, a man, in like 81 or something, like some crazy 30 years ago type shit, 40 years ago type shit.
Now you see, like, in movies and media, they also try to portray, like, homosexuals as these very, like, super intelligent, upstanding people who
artistic.
But also they're like, they almost try to put them on a moral high ground. You know what I mean? Like they're actually more superior humans in a way to some other humans, because they're more sensitive. Especially other men. They're more sensitive to certain things. But the case may, this is showing that that's not necessarily true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got multiple homosexual men that are out here raping other men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of foul shit that goes into that. Like, you got transvestites lying to men about them being men. Like, you know what I mean?
Sydney Starr, who we've interviewed before, said that she's done it before.
Do you always tell them about your history, or does it come up after the fact, after you guys have been intimate?
I always say when I meet guys, that is not usually the first thing I like to bring up, because if I'm like digging this dude, like, I think that is the last thing he would probably want to hear, because that would just kind of fuck up everything. Because there was times where it took me about a week or two to tell a guy, but we never like did anything or anything, but we just kind of stayed focused on the phone and getting to know each other. But usually when I tell them, it's usually within the first week of meeting them, because I don't like to let it go too long. Because usually when you let it go too long, they usually like you more and more. And then when you get it out the way, it kind of like lets them make the decision.
Right. Then I just saw a video of the nigga designer dancing.
Yeah, right.
He's like, hey, man, I ain't even know who the fuck she was. You see? That's why you got to do the knowledge. You can't be always so hyped to just turn up and jump into some shit. You got to do the knowledge before you do the wisdom, before you make your moves.
Yeah, man.
Or else you're going to be on tape dancing with a transvestite.
Now,
I don't know if you rubbed up on that thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think she has a dick.
What I'm saying is, was he dancing with the nigga behind, you know what I mean? Rubbing up on the ass, like, you see what I'm saying? How you dance with a broad.
Probably.
Was you doing that?
Probably. Then there's Louis C.K.
Right.
Now, his thing was that he would just pull his dick out in front of. And what's interesting, even though
Which
this
is still an assault.
Yeah, well, it's harassment, I guess.
I mean, it's a visual assault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, well,
motherfucker ain't asked for that.
Well, and for example, we had interviewed this porn star named Isis Taylor a few years ago. We actually we never put the clip out, but we just put it out recently.
You know, I'm walking downstairs, you got R. Kelly singing on, like, full-blown singing, talking about my mind, just telling me no. I'm like, yes, so this is awesome, best night of my life. Tyrese gets up behind him, starts singing with him, and I'm like, yes, even better. So I'm walking, and I just stop, and I'm watching, and then, you know, this dude comes up to me, and we're talking, and I'm like, he's like, oh, do you know who I am? And I'm like, you know, I think I've seen you before, not 100% sure who you are. He's like, Jerry McPiven, have you been living under a rock? You know, like, we start talking, whatever. I tell him I'm Jewish, he's Jewish, we have something in common now. So we go outside, and I think we're gonna go smoke a cigarette or something, because he has a cigar in his hand. And we're talking, and I guess I'm not noticing his hands, and then all of a sudden he's like, look, all this can be yours, as he points to his dick. And I'm like, I look down, and like his dick is full blown out. And I'm like, all right. He's like, well, just touch it, just touch it. I'm like, all right, well, this has been real. I'm gonna go back inside.
And he was accused of some similar shit, which of course he denied and everything, but I don't know, man.
See, what's crazy is it had to have worked another time for you to even try that on somebody. You don't just decide one day,
pull your dick out.
Yeah, let me pull my dick out and see
what happens.
Yeah, just see run it up the flagpole, see if it flies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, something happened, you was at a party one day, and maybe that first time, whoever you was talking to led you to believe, yo, I might pull my dick out on this broad, and she might be with it. And then he did it, and it worked. You see what I'm saying? Then it might have done it multiple times, and hey, this is a thing right here. And then you get the one, you know what I mean, who's in the same atmosphere as the other ones and all of that. Might be dressed looking the same way, but she's not with the same shit. So now you pull your fucking dick out on her, you know what I mean? And she's fucking like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, man, the president said you just go and grab him by the pussy. You got the dude in the highest office.
Commander-in-Chief.
The commander-in-chief is telling you
that's what you lead
this is
with.
what you do. Grab him up by the pussy, pull out your dick. It's all kind of in the same grouping.
In his mind, that's in the Constitution. Like, that's a constitutional amendment. You grab him by the pussy.
Right. And I guess Mariah Carey got accused of sexual harassment. Now it's just getting to the point where everything is kind of blowing up. It's a tough thing as a man, you know, and also since last time Terry Crews actually identified the guy who was grabbing his dick. And this is actually a fairly high-ranking guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who the guy was, but I know he went to the police or some shit like that.
Right.
About it.
This guy is the head of William Morris.
Whoa.
William Morris Endeavor.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Whoa.
High up.
So I know that had him scared.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The head of William Morris.
Yeah.
Like when you hear William Morris as an actor and all of that type of shit, you're like, that's the type of management that fucking makes or breaks motherfuckers out here.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know what I
William
mean?
Morris is one of the big agencies.
Come on. One of the, if not the biggest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you know, I think my only issue with all this, and this is always the argument with me when I talk to women about this, is that I'm all for men who do this to be prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My only issue is that you never really hear, you know, the people who accuse them of this. Nothing seems to happen to them. You see what I'm saying? Because remember last time Nelly got accused of rape.
Right.
He got arrested. He's always going to have that rape stain
Right.
on his record. Well, the woman ended up not wanting to press charges and whatever. She's completely anonymous.
Right.
Nothing
So
happened
now
to her.
You could fuck up somebody's life, baby, basically with no consequences, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I personally feel that if you're going to go through this, you can't be anonymous. You have to put yourself out there. And if it's proven not to be true, you could be held liable as well.
Right, but see, then the anonymous and putting yourself out there is built in to try to protect, you know, the victim. You know what I mean? Somebody doesn't necessarily want to walk around for the rest of their life if it did happen to them with the stigma of being a rape victim.
But this is, you know, like for example,
Here's the solution. If it's found not to be true, then your fucking name comes out. You see? But don't put the name out while we're still trying to get to the bottom of the facts. Because if it really did happen, you don't necessarily want your child or wife or whoever the fuck it is name out there as somebody that's been raped and all this type of shit. Now, if they fucking was lying and it was non-proven, well, fuck it. Now you got to suffer the consequences.
well, I mean, this brings me up because you remember, I don't know if you followed this or not, but there was a whole situation that I covered in Chicago where this dude Tay 600 was accused of snitching.
I know.
Remember? And they were saying, oh, he snitched and he did that. And then what I was able to show was that if he in fact snitched on these dudes who ended up going to prison for a murder or whatever, he never took the stand. And for you to actually have something that's admissible in court, you have to take a stand for cross-examination. You see what I'm saying? So he got all this thrown on his name, but I was able to prove that whether he said it or not, it didn't determine these guys going to jail. So technically, he didn't snitch on anybody. You see what I'm saying? Like if you are gonna go and accuse, if someone said Lord Jamar raped me, and all your shows get canceled, and you know you're unsung, that they go and trash that, and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like suddenly all your, you know, and your landlord kicks you out of the building and whatever the fuck else. Don't you feel that, you know, and there's no truth in it? Don't you feel that something should happen?
Right.
Because let me tell you, Louis C.K., on the day that shit was announced, lost his deal with HBO. Mm-hmm. His Netflix special got canceled. And FX, I think, that the Louis show is on, they canceled that shit.
But he admitted to it. So
he admitted to it.
Right?
So he deserves it, right? But let's just say that he didn't. He just lost $10 million in one day.
Right.
Easy.
But what I'm saying is, yes, there should be some sort of accountability for making these type of statements.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you don't just off the back identify the person who is claiming to be raped. I mean, in this situation, it's almost like...
I disagree.
It's almost like you got to... Because if it is true, that's some horrible shit to just be blown up like that. Like, you can't just necessarily... Just because she could fuck up somebody's money or whatever the case may be. Like...
No, you should be held accountable for what
if you're
accuse.
lying. But if you're not lying, why should they be put into the public eye like that?
Because you're putting yourself in the public eye by accusing someone of doing this.
But you didn't ask to be raped.
True.
You didn't ask to be raped. So now I have to accuse
True.
you in order to bring you to justice.
You
but
did
that
not-
don't mean I want the world to know that I've been raped. That's all I'm saying. And if I'm telling the truth, then my identity should be withheld. If I'm not telling the truth, tell every fucking body about me. I deserve that. So what I'm saying is, I agree with you, but I don't agree that we should just, from the outset of an allegation, all parties should be identified. I don't agree with that.
All right, agree to disagree. Speaking of rape, Nicki Minaj's brother
Was convicted. Eh?
convicted.
Ooh. And wasn't this like his stepdaughter or some grimy shit like that?
I looked into this a little bit. The woman he married had 2 children already, a son and a daughter. He was convicted for raping the daughter.
And the daughter was, how old? Like 12?
11 years old. At the
Wow.
time. 11.
Wow. Like, how do you justify that?
You don't justify
Can't.
it. It's unjustifiable.
You're just a piece of shit.
Right.
You're just a piece of fucking savage shit that allows your lower self to just control your life.
Nicki Minaj turned off all her comments on all her Instagram posts after the verdict came in.
I mean, she need to. Because she knew what was coming.
She paid for his defense, I heard.
I heard that too. See, I'm a tough love type of motherfucker. You see? I don't give a fuck who you are. If you did some shit like that, for real, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with, even if I love you, I can't support you in that.
Yeah.
I might still love you as my whatever kind of family member you are, but I'm not going to support you.
Well, it's an interesting situation because, obviously when it happened, the brother's going to deny it and say it's bullshit. Because there's a little more to the story because when the mother found out, she tried to extort him for $25 million.
Whoa.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Nah.
Yeah. When she found out, she agreed to keep it quiet if his sister coughed up $25 million. And that's what made the case a bit fuzzy.
Right, like, is this real?
Is this
or
real?
This some real
or is this
extortion
Or is this
shit?
extortion? Because clearly he don't have no money. He don't look like he even in the industry. He look like he, works at a park or something. Like, you don't look like one of them.
Empty your trash cans and shit.
Right. Thinking of dog poop or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't look like a fly. Don't look like Nicki took him along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there is that's the hazy part. And honestly, the kid's mother is a piece of shit for that.
Of course she is.
Straight up and down.
Piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
Like,
Because if you found out
there's any amount of money that you can be paid for your fucking child to be raped,
yeah.
like, there's no amount of money that can compensate for that. I don't give a fuck.
Right. And the fact
But
that
you got savages right now that's looking at this fucking interview and say, give me $1 billion. I'll give you my fucking daughter.
all day.
Right now.
Yeah.
They're like, hell yeah, Lord Jamar, I'll fuck that. She'll get over it.
Yeah.
I'll buy her a new pussy. Niggas say some crazy shit like, seriously.
That's a horrible statement.
I know it's a horrible statement, but this is the fucking world we live in, Vlad.
Yeah.
That motherfuckers, again, this is my reoccurring theme of every basically thing that we talk about, is how money, the illusion of money, even the prospect, not even having it, just the thinking that you might get you some money will obliterate people's fucking morals and any kind of sense of self-decency, and they'll fucking do whatever. Some shit that they would never do under any other circumstances you will do for the prospect of money. It's fucking sick.
Well, yeah. I mean, for example, I'd heard in India where you have generational begging when...
You come from a long line of beggars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your great-great-great-great-grandfather was begging. Because, they also have the caste system over there and a bunch of other...
Where you can't rise.
You can't rise. Mm-hmm. If you're born a beggar, you're probably going to stay a beggar, so make the most of it. I'd heard that certain parents will actually amputate their child's limbs so they can make more money as they beg throughout the course of their life. Because
Yes.
you will give more money to a one-armed beggar than to a two-armed beggar.
I can see that. I can see
It's fucked up when you think about it.
Of course it's fucked
But
up.
if that's your situation, you're thinking of it completely different.
Yep. It's crazy.
Did you hear about the guy? I think it was in Queens. We just posted over the weekend. He was caught molesting a 6-year-old boy. The family caught him, beat him up,
Beat him up.
locked him, and then, put him in the room, locked him in the room, and called the police. He jumped out of the 4-story window, landed on a fence, and died.
Beautiful. So wait, the official story is that he jumped out the window.
Yeah, people are saying he may have been pushed out.
Because I'm thinking they beat him up and locked him in the room. I'm like, if I caught you, you're dead. You're dead. Like, there's nothing more to talk about. There is no beating up and holding you for the police. I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a friend. I'm not gonna say his name and all that, but he experienced some shit where, like, his sister's fucking boyfriend at the time, like, beat her up and fucking raped her and fucking bit a hole through her lip or some crazy shit. And my man was just fucking came home after 7 years. He was home for 52 days. Went upstairs and murdered this nigga. Came downstairs with the gun smoking and just gave himself up. And went and did another fucking 7 years for manslaughter.
That's all you got, 7 years?
It was manslaughter. You know what I mean? It was almost justified. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not against this. 'Cause, like, I'm not anti-violence. I never have been. But is that manslaughter or is it?
This motherfucker just raped your sister, B.
So it happened right then and
in
literally
the
right
crib,
afterwards.
yes,
Oh, okay. It wasn't
yeah.
like a week later he went.
No,
Okay, I
this
see what
is
you're
like
saying. 'Cause
that day.
If he
type
came
of
back
shit.
a week later, then it would have been something else.
This is
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
yo, get up there type of shit. I don't know exactly, but
Okay.
it
yeah.
was right
It was
then.
heat
type
of the
of
moment,
all of that.
unplanned.
Yeah, no plan. Like, yeah.
Yeah. The courts are gonna, be a little lenient, but they still gotta lock you up for it.
Exactly. But we understand
Yeah.
in a way. But you still gonna have to do this 7.
Well, let me tell you something. Nicki Minaj's brother, I'm thinking he's not gonna get PC because he's not a
Yeah,
celebrity.
why would he? Why would he?
Like I don't think a relative of a celebrity will get protective custody.
Well, now he can request it.
Yeah, we could all request it.
Yeah. And I'm sure he will request it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Right. Because let me tell you, he gonna go in there and motherfuckers, they gonna look at him like a snack. Oh yeah. A child molester, especially a high profile child molester, he gonna get it.
Yeah, they gonna nickname him Loose Booty after he's done with this
He's gonna have to
motherfucker.
wear a diaper.
Oh, Loose Booty Minaj, whatever his last name is.
Hip hop has had its share of what I consider questionable lyrics. Right? I was thinking about this the other day. Like Biggie had a nice handful of them.
Yeah.
He had that one line, the first time I saw you, my first thought was to trick. You look so good, I suck on your daddy's dick.
You said it, Vlad, not me.
I said it.
I'm
No,
just
well,
saying.
Biggie said it. I'm
Well,
quoting
what
it.
I'm saying is you're bringing this up because I didn't notice this.
Right.
About mad shit that
Right.
Big said.
'Cause I can
And
tell
I
you-
love Big.
Right.
And I didn't want, and I know people love Big, and I ain't want to be the one to bring this up. But you brought it up.
I brought it
Vlad.
up. I brought
Okay.
it up. And let me tell you, there is not a girl in the world that looks so good that I would suck on anyone's dick.
Nor drink your fucking bath water either. Okay?
Right. Well, I don't know. Bath water?
What? You dirty motherfucker.
Bath
you.
water?
You freaky motherfucker. I ain't drinking no bath water. You ever seen the ring around a fucking bathtub, Vlad? Come on, B.
Hey, I do that for a second on a dick. Let me tell you. when you put those two next to each other, the bathwater don't seem so bad.
Oh man.
Right, and he talking about, what is it? He's talking about, my man's will.
He said, I'll fuck him in the ass, throw him over the bridge.
Yeah, there's a few questionable.
I fucked them Paul before I fucked them ugly escape bitches.
Right, Biggie had a handful of them, but to be fair, there was a Lord Jamar lyric that I've always questioned.
Oh shit. Go ahead.
You already know the one I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
I'm like dick in your ass, quick, fast. Like my name was Flash. Wanna try to rob me for my cash.
I might dig in your ass, quick, fast.
Oh, that's what you say.
Yeah, I don't say dick in your ass. Come on, Blac.
That's what I thought you said.
Clean the fucking wax out your fucking ears, B. I might dig in your ass. Like, I mean, and in these days, somebody would say pause after some dumb shit like that. But come on, that's a term for whipping my motherfucker's ass. I'm gonna dig in your motherfucking ass, B.
I feel better now.
Yeah, come on.
I
B.
feel better. All these years.
I ain't never gonna have no. You out of your fucking mind? I'm like, he said, you know what? No, I don't know what lyric you about to say. I have no fucking idea because I ain't never said no fucking.
But you can see how I would confuse it though. When you look at the context of how you say it.
Yeah, nah. I might dig in your ass quick, fast, like my name was Flash when a nigga try and rob me for my cash. That's what the fuck I said.
Thought you had a sweet Vic.
Nice, quick, but you didn't anticipate that I might be
sick. Now who's the trick?
Nah. Yeah,
okay.
You heard that wrong.
I heard it wrong.
Dig.
Thank God.
Dig.
All these years I thought it was.
And dig in your ass means whoop your ass.
Okay, now that makes more sense.
Yeah. Come on, Blac. Nice try, but
hey, I had to pick it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's what's up.
That's what's up. But in this day and age, you now have rappers that are outwardly gay. You got I Love McConan.
But he's gone now.
Yeah, I mean, he's still floating around a little bit.
Is he?
A little bit.
I ain't heard him. Ever since he came out, he's gone. There's no male outwardly gay rappers that's really popping. The only outwardly gay rapper that's semi-popping but's cooling down is Young M.A. That's it.
And she has cooled down, I have to say. And shout out to Young M.A. She's we've interviewed her before, I think she's dope. She's dope. She right now she just got that one hit.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
She hasn't followed up with anything big yet.
Nope. I think we need to, just rhyme. Get away from all the shock value talking about the dyke shit. Like, nobody want to hear that. And it ain't hating. It's just nobody want to hear that. You know what I mean? Unless you want to make music just straight for dykes. But real niggas don't want to hear no shit like that. Come on, man. Knock it off. But you could rap, especially for a girl. So spit some other shit. Spit some shit that we might would want to hear, but that's not what the fuck we want to hear. And ain't no hating involved. Nobody's hating on you. I'm not hating on you. I'm just telling you change your shit up.
Yeah.
That's all.
We'll see what happens. I think it would take a rapper who is popping with multiple hit songs to come out as gay and see what happens. Like if Kanye came out as gay or bisexual, or a Drake came out as gay,
I think he'd lose a big part of his fan base.
You think people stop fucking with him though?
Not everybody. A lot of white people go right with it, and a lot of
you think black people?
A lot of these new age black people would go with it, but the real core, true hip hop audience, I'm not fucking with that. I'm not fucking with that. Like this is not what hip hop is about. This is not a gay music. You have music for gay people, house music, all that electric shit. That's gay people's music. Even back in the days, like black people and gays was kind of sharing disco music.
True.
But then when hip hop came out, it was like, okay, gay people, y'all could keep that disco shit. We're gonna rock with this shit.
Right, and in New Orleans, you have like the gay hip hop, the bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like that
That's yeah.
that genre, you know, Big Frida
Yeah,
and stuff
I
like
heard
that.
of
Yeah.
it, but I'm not, you know, that's not a real thing, really. Like, you know, it's not national.
It's not national.
Yeah, so
No.
it's like
It's like a local thing, like Go-Go in DC.
exactly.
Like it's a local.
And it's never going to be national. You see what I'm saying? Well, don't let me say never, because
You never know.
if the minds keep going in the direction that they're going, 20 years from now, maybe that would be mainstream.
Your man Tyrese.
Listen, Blac, I've done about 13,000 interviews with you. What more do you want from me?
So I'm saying this to all of the fathers. You know, compassion is being able to understand the seat and the reality that someone else is sitting in. That's compassion. It's not about the seat that you're sitting in, the rock.
That's my nigga, Tyrese. Has been quite funny the past week or so. But it's sad at the same time. First of all right, yeah, he's bugged out, okay? But at the same time, I mean, he does appear to really love his daughter. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, you got a lot of people out here who don't give a fuck about their children. You know what I mean? And are not willing to be vulnerable enough to the world to say, you know, I love my child, and you know what I mean? That being said, he did bug out though. Like it's one thing to be emotional about your child, it's another thing to like record it and put it on fucking, you know,
Right.
Instagram or whatever the fuck you put it on for the whole world to fucking, you know, bug out on you over this shit, you know?
I mean, from my point of view, this is what I found a bit odd. This is a man who has been working in Hollywood and in the music industry for about 20 years now, right? Since the Coca-Cola commercial, he's starred in films.
Right.
He's been in...
Why are you saying you broke?
Well, you're saying you're broke in your mansion.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And to the, you know, like I have a certain amount of money, but I can just imagine, you know, a working class person looking at this, you know, lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with his 2 kids, watching you as you're sitting in your mansion and you have a Benihana and a Starbucks and a laundromat in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? A big, huge transformer thing,
Right.
you know.
In the fucking foyer.
Yeah. And you're
You're
talking...
opening these gigantic closets.
Yeah.
Trying to find your ramen.
Yeah.
And then when you find that it's not even real ramen, it's fucking cup of noodles.
Right. and you're sitting
Which
there...
is some bougie shit. Like, you trying to prove that you on some black shit. You ain't even got the real ramen that black people eat.
And you're talking
Okay.
about how broke you are, but you're saying this in your mansion, or you're rolling around in your Rolls Royce,
Right.
and it's like,
Talking about your chef.
yeah, talking about how your chef is not here
Yeah,
because he's
hurt.
sick. It's like you're kind of spitting in the face of most of your fans, I feel, because most of the people who like you and support you are working class people.
Listen, I kind of thought Tyrese had it together. Like, he seemed like he had it together. I saw some shit where he was like, ain't he down with some car company where they putting out like a Jeep or some shit like that? Like, yeah, I thought he was doing a lot of like, you know, good business moves, but maybe that you see, that's some face value shit. Motherfuckers want you to feel like, oh no, I'm good, I'm rich, I'm doing this, I'm that, I'm at this gala, and now you see me tuxedos and all this type of shit. Or motherfuckers, you know, still be living beyond their means.
Well,
like, how are you broke and you've been in all the Fast and the Furious joint? That alone, forget your records and all of that, and he went platinum before, yes? Tyrese?
Something like that, yeah.
Hell yeah, he been platinum. So let's forget all of that. Just your royalties alone, from being even one of those Fast and the Furious.
Right, which are international hits.
Come on. I'm sure Bow Wow was still getting fucking checks from Tokyo Drift. And you was in all of these motherfuckers. And you telling me you fucked off all that money to where you got to be crying on the fucking internet and waiting for wires, your Will Smith wire?
Which never came.
Which never came. As you sit with your leather jacket and the fucking fur, waiting on your Will Smith wire.
Right. And then when you looked at the post, because I remember I wrote up that article myself, when he posted that up and saying, Will and Jada gave me $5 million, and the only thing they asked for is that I stay I stay off social media. But this is being posted on social media.
You just nullified the terms of the. That's probably why the wire ain't come. Motherfucker, we said stay off social media. But you didn't give me the money yet, so I figured I'd get a couple last ones in because.
Right. No, because I remember there's a dude named, I forgot what his name is, Artemis Gordon, I think, who I follow, who actually broke down this whole thing that basically said this drug that he claims, because at one point he said, oh, it's not me, it's the meds, I was prescribed these meds.
Right.
But what he's saying is that these meds actually take about a month to kick in. So he's like, this kind of bullshit. Like, what he's saying here clinically doesn't make any sense.
But at the same time, he does seem like something's off with him right now.
Could be.
Something's off. Like, and I don't know if it's just the stress of what he's going through. And I mean, first of all, the videos look very melodramatic. Like, part of it, I almost was like, is this even real? Like, are you truly upset right now? Or
I don't know.
Are you acting right now?
Well,
like, are you acting how you think a concerned father should act?
Well, let me put it like this. As someone, I mean, you know, in terms of people I talk to who work in Hollywood and stuff like that, like, by you acting this way, you are potentially losing future roles. Because a producer, you know, or a high-level executive is going to look at this and saying, this guy might not show up if I book him for a film.
Right.
You know, if him and his baby mama go through it in a court date the day before and he jumps on social media crying, he's not going to show up to my set. So, you know what I mean? Because I remember I just interviewed Russell Simmons.
On it, Cry Reese. Hashtag Cry Reese.
Yeah. Like, you know, because I remember I just interviewed Russell Simmons, and we talked about, for example, why Chris Tucker hasn't done very many films.
Obviously, he's a very talented guy, and there's so many things he could have done over the last 20 years or so. And I think that, you know, he's been very selective. And I think because of it, I wouldn't say he suffered because, you know, his own personal happiness I can't comment on. But we suffered because we would like to have seen a lot more of him over the last 25 years. He's a brilliant actor. Think of Dead Presidents. He's hilarious. Think of so Chris Tucker is a brilliant guy, and I would love to have heard more of his voice over these last 20 years.
Why do you think that happened, though? Why do you think he only did like a rush hour every so often? And
everybody's different. A lot of talent don't like to do a lot of work. A lot of talent likes to do all the work. And, you know, and somewhere in between, a proper manager can help them and they can make their own choices where they expose themselves so they have the most success in the world. But his personal happiness should always be first. So I don't know what his choices or why he did so little over these years.
When it comes to these types of films, $50 million budgets, $100 million budgets.
You can't fuck around.
You can't fuck around. You can't fuck around. Because, you know, I remember, you know, when the Louis C.K. shit happened, there was a film that was supposed to come out that they purchased for $5 million that they just scrapped. Just boom, done. $5 million? All right, fuck it.
Listen,
you know?
An extra hour, you know, that wasn't allotted for on set could be, you know, $50,000 extra dollars in a budget. Hell yeah.
Hey, well, you've been on these sets.
That's what I'm telling you. You know, if you weren't planning, once you go over certain hours, there's overtime, there's all that type of shit.
Yeah, the unions.
All union shit. And, the lighting people and everybody's getting paid. And depending on the level of the production, the higher it is, the more everybody's getting paid. So now, if we were only supposed to do 8 hours and you got me doing 10 hours, 13, 14 hours, that's not cool. And if we're going over that time because of production, that's one thing. But if we're going over time because your fucking ass showed up 2-3 hours late, that's a big fucking problem.
Right. So, like, for example, all the HBO shit that you've done and everything else like that, like, how big was the biggest crew you've ever worked on? Was it like 50 people, 100 people?
I mean, when you put all together, everybody, yeah, it could be like 100-something people. Well, you're talking about the crew or everybody?
I see what you're saying.
You see, because like on Oz, you had all the extras.
Yeah.
The inmate extras, and then the principal actors, and then the crew. You see what I'm saying? So that was like 200, 300 people sometimes.
Yeah, so one person fucking up 200 people's time, it gets pretty personal at that point.
Exactly, and especially when you've been working, you might be out in the fucking cold or the fucking rain for fucking 8 hours just to, you know what I mean? Just to get, 5 minutes worth of some shit on film. And you know what I mean? And people's grueling and trying to do that, and you're just taking your fucking sweet ass time doing whatever the fuck you doing. Motherfuckers is like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I'm fucking with you. I don't care.
Right, because
find somebody else.
Right, because Kevin Spacey they literally reshot his scenes.
A whole movie. This movie's supposed to come out in like December.
They reshot it with another actor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the shit had to be already edited and ready to go. And they said, oh, no, fuck that. Let's get somebody. And now that adds to the whole production, but I guess they think it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like, you can't fuck around. And it's funny because I just interviewed Michael Rappaport, right? Who's been a 60-something films.
Right.
Right?
And loves hip-hop and is very outspoken.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually told me something interesting because he basically was like, have you taken acting classes or acting coaches? Nothing.
No.
No. You've been winging it ever since.
There's no winging it. I know what I'm doing. I knew what I was doing then. I didn't know. I was an instinctive actor at the time. I still go off instinct, but I've done it so much. You have everybody has their own approach. There is no, it's not like, basketball where you work on your layups, you work on your jump shots, you work on your free throws, you work on your handle. It's a different.
Really?
Yeah, it's a different thing. Everybody has their own thing. Acting is funny, and actors don't like to talk about their acting. It's sort of like, I feel like a lot of them think it's like magicians telling their tricks.
And a certain understanding for, like, just humans. You know what I mean? Like how humans think, how humans react, and just be able to just study people. And if you can incorporate that into your shit, I never took no fucking classes or nothing either. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, but I think the point is that, he said, and a lot of it is just luck. A lot of it is just luck and timing and relationships and all that. And you fuck that off and you're done. And that's it. And it don't matter at that point. Now, granted, there are certain people that are just such incredible talents, like a Robert Downey Jr.
I was gonna say him.
That's
why he got 1,001 chances.
He fucked up. He was a drug addict. He fucked up TV shows, but he came back and he's been pretty much on the straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And now he's Iron Man. And
now he's Iron Man.
That's his reward.
That's his reward, right? But like most dudes who are not of that caliber, they'll just get tossed aside. Like, we ain't got time for this shit. You done fucked off the $500,000 last month for me. Like, I'm good. I ain't getting that back from you, so.
But at the same time, not always, because, it also depends who you are. You know what I mean? Do you have the complexion for the connection? You know what I mean? To go in the right direction. Because if there was a black artist that was just as talented as Robert Downey Jr. and did the same shit, guess what? He wouldn't be nobody's fucking Iron Man. They would have kicked his fucking ass out to the side and pulled somebody else in. You know what I mean? Wesley Snipes was the fucking man.
This is true.
The fucking man.
Now look, no one fucking with him. He gets little bit roles here and there. I remember he was in
He's not, you know what I mean?
That Brooklyn film where he gets killed off in it.
He can act. I mean, Wesley's dope. You know what I mean?
No. Wesley was a bona fide star.
That's what I'm telling you.
I remember watching the making of Michael Jackson's Bad. Remember he was in it?
I'm not sure.
He was the dude that got in Michael's face, that like Michael was challenging to like.
Oh, okay.
That was Wesley Snipes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. That was Wesley Snipes. The Bad music video, which at the time were the biggest fucking things in the world. And I remember watching the making of it, and the director, I forgot who it was, but basically said, when Wesley came in, we all looked at each other and said, okay, this is. And that was like his first role, essentially. Wow. We all looked at each other and said, oh yeah, this is the guy. It was obvious. You know what I mean? And he went on to, Demolition Man and New Jack City and classics.
I mean, at this point, he would have to kiss so much ass to get back to that Robert Downey level, that level where he was. And I know he's not that type of motherfucker. You know what I mean?
He's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Eminem, you heard the new song? Walk on Water?
A little bit.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, again, for Eminem, who's supposed to be so nasty and all of this type of shit, the shit I'm hearing lately is not that good. And I know when Eminem, even if I don't like the content of what he's saying, I know when he's spitting some shit.
Yeah.
I know when he's saying putting words together in a fucking dope way, even if I don't like the content of what he's saying. But this shit, just like that fucking freestyle, was
meh.
It's okay.
And he got Beyonce on the hook.
Oh, that's Beyonce?
Well, originally, yeah. Well, the one that he performed at the MTV EMAs was Skylar Grey, who co-wrote or co-produced the song.
Okay.
But the single has Beyonce on the hook.
Okay.
Yeah. What's interesting is that this past weekend, he performed the song for the first time at the MTV Europe Music Awards. Right. Beyonce.
And which is also exactly what I was saying about, you want to talk to your people? Go do that freestyle to your people. That shit came right after the BET Awards and the Country Music Awards just passed too, okay?
Right.
Why you didn't say it there? Why you ain't say that freestyle there? You did this song.
Well, you know what was funny about this award show was that after he performed, he won the award for Best Hip Hop. And he came on stage and said, I'm not really sure why I'm getting this because I haven't had an album out in years. But, I got one coming, though. He's like, well, thanks anyway.
You're getting it because you're white and you're at the Europe Awards. What do you think? Why else would you fucking get it? You're Eminem. They've always wanted to give you some shit, and here you are. Here you go.
Yeah, you showed up. Eminem showing up? Who was supposed to get it? No, he's not getting it. Exactly. Eminem's getting it.
We give to Eminem. He is the greatest white rapper, and we must respect him.
And he is here.
And he is here now. We give to you. We love.
It was actual confusion. He literally was just like, I don't know why I'm getting this.
You know why. You know why.
Irv Gotti did a interview on, I think, Drink Champs, where he said, he said, Drake is the Eminem of today. I can't really disagree with that.
No. But better. Because at least Drake doesn't talk about a bunch of dumb shit as far as I want to kill my mother and swallow Vicodins and all this other shit. I mean,
right.
He does talk about lean and shit like that. That I
don't
even think he's drinking. It's just people around him. But whatever. Yeah, but as far as popularity and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say he might be bigger than Eminem. He got more hits.
He does have more hits than Eminem.
Way more hits than fucking Eminem.
He's more of a pop artist than Eminem.
Well, Eminem became a pop artist too, though.
He became a pop artist, but he wasn't trying. Yeah, right. But Drake, I think specifically makes songs for the radios and the club, whereas Eminem was not.
Yes, he did. Sometimes he did. He always had one single that he felt was the radio one. The My Name Is, the fucking.
Yeah.
He, trust me, he's doing his shit scientifically too. Just not as much as Dre. As Drake. Drake got a bunch of songs that are kind of seem like they're programmed for the radio.
Yeah.
Whereas Eminem would do all kind of shit maybe on his album, and then he'd have one or two that in his mind, were going to be the radio ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not real impressed with the Eminem of today. And I'll tell you what, like, people that were around me at the time, like, back in, like, 98, 97, like, I was up on Eminem before Dr. Dre was. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I purchased a physical copy of the Slim Shady EP, which came out before the Aftermath Slim Shady LP. Like, some of the songs ended up carrying over.
Right.
Like Eminem, I felt was kind of like, I mean, I didn't discover him by any search, but I was a part of a small group of hip hop fans that were up on this new kid that was just tearing shit up, and then he was on Raucous doing these guest appearances, and it was like some cool underground shit that only me and a small group of people were up on. And like when he blew up, I'm like, yeah, of course, like we've been up on this dude, and boom, boom, boom. And I was really like a really huge fan, but I could tell you, did I even listen to his last album? I don't think I did. The shit from 4 years ago, I may have skimmed through it once. It was like,
Only Eminem album I ever listened to probably was the first one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, you can't keep doing the same shock value over and over again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to grow as an artist for
But
people
not for
to...
his fans, though.
Yeah.
Because they loved it. Over and over, he talked about the same shit in the same kind of way.
Same cadence.
Same cadence. I'm going to scream at you. I'm going to talk calm.
Get
and
more
then
angry.
like, you know, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, because you could see, for example, Kendrick grow album to album. Like, you know what I mean? Because I remember, like, K-Slay had put out a song, like, recently and had a Kendrick verse on it. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is Kendrick from, like, 4 years ago. Like, you know, you could, like, this is not 2017 Kendrick.
Right.
Clearly, K-Slay had this verse he's been holding on to for a while, and they were cool with him putting it out. And that's cool. Like, you know, shout out to K-Slay. But I'm like, clearly, this is not 2017 Kendrick. He raps completely different than what I'm hearing right now. You know what I mean? Like when you hear Damn, it's like it's very different from like Section 80 or Mad City. Like, you know, yeah, I mean, Eminem's kind of doing the same shit. Year after year.
I mean, it's time to sit down. Why are you even making records right now? You don't even have to.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right, so sit down. You know what I mean? Let these black people that was standing behind you stand in the front. And you just sit your fucking ass down because you're running out, you know, of shit to say.
Royce responded to you.
Why do y'all care who was in the background of the fucking cipher? Why do y'all care that it was black people in the background of the cipher? What do you think, niggas, man? We was casted? You think it's some type of imaging that got put together by like some fucking white force? Like, Eminem is my fucking friend, man. He's been my friend since 97. I support everything that he does, just like he supports everything that I do. And I hope you niggas support your friends, and your friends support you, and if they don't, that's your fucking problem. But he got up there and he used his own platform. What'd you think my black ass was supposed to do? Come out the background and grab the mic? Give me this mic, white boy. I'm the one supposed to be doing this. I'm the black one. It don't work like that. It's a thing called protocol that keeps me from doing that. You want to know how I feel about the state of things? Go listen to my fucking albums. And I'm proud to call M my friend. And if you got a problem with me supporting my friend, you can kiss my ass. All right?
Royce, like Eminem, changed Royce's life.
Of course.
So
I get it.
You know,
he
should be riding for Eminem forever.
I love Royce. I think Royce is nicer than Eminem because I can actually listen to the shit that Royce says.
Roy, hold on.
Yeah, Royce is better than Eminem. In my eyes,
Jamar says that Royce the 5'9"
is better than Eminem. You can make that the headline of this if you want to.
We're going to.
Only because he's lyrical,
yeah,
and he don't talk a bunch of dumb shit. That's it. My only problem with Eminem is that he talks a bunch of shit that does not resonate with me. That's all. He's a hell of a rapper. But he's not as good as everybody says he is. Okay? This is just my opinion, though. You take it for what you want. Call me a hater, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I believe that Royce the 5'9" is better than Eminem. That being said, I get it. He butters his bread and all of that. Like, I get it. Like, I expected him to speak up for his man. Like, but at the same time, what people don't understand is certain things happen sometimes that we don't necessarily notice or know that's going on. We might have not intentionally did something, yet we're still doing it. What would be a good example of this? We talked about this earlier. We talked about this peace sign, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's doing this, thinking that they're giving the sign of peace. But really, you're giving the sign of war, unbeknownst to you. Now, your intentions were to throw up the sign of peace. But what you're really doing, the image that you're really giving, is the sign of war. So what I'm saying is, in their minds, all they were doing was supporting their man that would support them. I get it. I get it. But what you don't see or fail to realize is the imagery that you're giving off is that this white man is y'all leader and y'all follow this white man. And then that goes into a bigger macrocosm of how black people often rely on white people to lead them instead of being their own leaders. That's my only point. And whether you saw that or not, or realized it or not, doesn't mean that it wasn't happening. That's it.
That's it.
But I respect, of course you're supposed to support your people that support you. I get it. I get it. But sometimes, you see, and here's another thing I wanted to say concerning this. You know, everything is from perspective. And your perspective comes from the knowledge or lack thereof that you have, depending on what your field is. So now, take for instance, different people walk through this door, right? Depending on what their knowledge or profession is, depends on how they even see your fucking office. Let's say I'm a fire inspector and I walk in here. The average person is just gonna walk around and be like, oh, it's an office. I might be a fire inspector. That outlet looks such and such. I'm gonna see shit that the average person is not seeing because I'm trained to see that. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you might have thought, oh, no, I was just decorating my office. I wasn't trying to cause a fire hazard. Yeah, but guess what? That is a fire hazard. And I can tell you that because I've trained myself to look for fire hazards. You see what I'm saying? And you didn't notice that. So I'm that motherfucker who's trained my eye to see certain things, and it's not about being paranoid and they, oh, Lord, Jamar boils down to everything is black and white. It kind of is, though. You know what I mean? Like, there is a definitive wrong and right or left. You know what I mean? Like, that exists. So all I'm saying is I'm that guy that's able to, who's trained myself to look at things from a different perspective, okay? When you're on the ground, you can't necessarily see the land as well as if you're higher. Mm-hmm. Now you get a different perspective. And these motherfuckers think something's going on here, but you're up here. You can see the whole shit, whereas they can only see a portion. So elevate yourself to be able to see higher perspectives, and then you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. And won't be so quick to think I'm just hating. Okay?
Meek Mill. Sentenced to 2 to 4 years.
For popping a wheelie.
Right. And I guess breaking up a fight in an airport. Both charges.
Breaking up a fight, not getting into it.
Yeah. Both charges were dropped. But the judge violated them anyways.
Right. The judge who supposedly was asking for shout outs and fucking maybe had a business person
Something
they
like
wanted
that.
him to fire his manager or something. Like, I'm hearing all kind of crazy shit about this judge.
Right. Judge also happens to be a black female.
Right. Which doesn't matter. She's part of the system.
Yeah. So there's actually a rally that's supposed to be going on where people are supposed to be protesting it. There's a website you can go to where you could write to the governor and so forth. Well, number one, what do you think about the whole thing?
I mean, I don't know all the particulars, but you know, having someone on probation for 10 fucking years seems a little excessive to me. Excessive. Yeah. It's like you trying to set a motherfucker up for failure. Like just being a black man in America. Like to go for a full 10 years without coming into any police contact, it's not that easy. Like, it's not that easy. You could be moving super regular and still, being a black man out here, trust me, you could get put into that system some way, somehow.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here. Mm-hmm. I actually am a Meek Mill fan. Mm-hmm. You know, from what I understand, he's cool with us. You know what I mean? He's shouted me out before and stuff like that. Like, you know, we've never actually met face to face, but you know what I mean? We have a good rapport. And I am, based on what he got locked up for, I do feel it's excessive, right? Mm-hmm. But if you do take a step back and you look at someone like a Gucci Mane, mm-hmm. who I'm not sure if he's on probation or not, but if you look at how he's been moving ever since he got out of jail, mm-hmm. you don't see him connected with no type of bullshit.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. You see him and his woman.
Him and his woman. He wrote a best-selling book. He's put out like 89 albums. He's happy in his pictures.
Right.
He looks like he doesn't have the
healthy,
same...
lost
mm-hmm. weight. Doesn't seem like he has the same group of friends. He doesn't have the same entourage anymore.
Right.
Now, if you look at Meek, you know, the shit that they put him in jail for is somewhat bullshit. It is bullshit, I feel.
Right.
But look at all the shit that he's been mixed up with, from Beanie Siegel getting punched in the face,
right.
Safari getting beat up,
right.
Something allegedly happened with French Montana in Philly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he seems to have a group of people around him
right.
that he either has limited control over or he's directing them to do shit on his behalf. I don't know. I don't know that crew.
Right.
But no matter how you slice it, you surround yourself with certain types of people and you will get caught up in their fuck shit.
It's called the vortex.
The vortex.
You get sucked into the vortex and it's hard to fucking pull yourself out.
I am very careful with the people around me. Like when I go out with my you know, whether it's my security or, you know, my guys who are, you know, the jail dudes or whatever who I fuck with, who are my friends, you know, mm-hmm. who you hung out with and met and stuff like that. At the beginning of the night, there's a conversation with us where I say, listen, here are potentially some things that can go wrong. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay? And I have to feel like I have total control. I have to have the final say of how things go down in this situation. Like, I have to be able to tell you, no, like, we're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to do this. We're not here are the repercussions of how this is going to happen. And we are going to potentially walk away from this. You know, like, our main concern is to just maintain a level of safety.
Right.
We're not the aggressors. If someone has a problem with us, we're not going to see him and run up on him and go fuck him up. Like, right. We're not going to do that. I have too much to lose.
But we're going to defend ourselves.
We're going to defend ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing's going to happen to any of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I understand that. I understand with certain types of security I have with me, like, we're armed. Someone might get killed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's repercussions to all this. Like, but if you look for the last, I don't know, 8 or so years, you don't hear any type of bullshit that I've got involved with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm out. I'm in these same places. I'm at these same concerts. You know? And like I said, look at Gucci. What are you going to say? You more hood than Gucci? You know what I mean? Like, you more gangster than Gucci? Like, Gucci caught a body. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, eventually, Meek is going to get out of this situation. Right? However way, whether it gets dropped or whether he does his jail time or whatever else.
All right. Once you get out of it, if you get out of it, are you going to continue to move the same way you've been moving? That's your question. And the answer should be no. The answer should be, and especially if hip hop's voice is what helps this get re-examined, and you know what I mean? Because it seems like people's actually trying to like use their voice. I was at something at the Garden Theater the other day with Cooks and my son, and A$AP Ferg was performing. One of the first things he talked about was like the Meek Mill shit on stage, like, and people was like really rallying around this. Yeah. So this is almost an opportunity for hip hop to, whether you fully agree with how he moves or not, but this is an opportunity for hip hop to, try to mobilize and use their voice in an almost political way. You know what I mean? That's in something that we can actually directly affect. Because it's not like voting for the president and all of that. You got the Electoral College, and there's a lot of bullshit in that. But like with judges and all of that, those are real elected officials. Like, there is no
Are judges elected officials?
Yes,
No.
they are.
Well, judges are...
You got to be elected to be a judge.
I thought that you get chosen by... Well, federal judges get chosen by the president, right?
Maybe a federal judge. I don't think this is a federal judge. From what I understand, judges are elected. Just like sheriffs are elected, but police are not. See, that's why it's some shady shit with the fucking law.
The state's governor or legislature will choose their judges.
Oh, so, okay. I don't know why
Nope.
judges were elected.
Hey, no, you've never seen a judge campaign.
I thought I have, though. No.
I don't think so. Judges are chosen by a legislative committee based on each potential judge's past performance. Some states hold retention elections to determine if the judge should continue to serve.
Ah, okay.
So if something goes a little left,
Okay.
there might be some sort of...
Because I know I heard of a judge election, but maybe that's what it was. Okay.
No, they're selected. So, the governor selects the state judge, and the president
Which makes it
selects the federal judge.
okay, definitely more corrupt because now, you know what I mean? It's not the will of the people at all of why these
No, not at all. And once they're elected, they're
even there.
They're there for life.
Right. A sheriff, look that up. A sheriff is definitely elected.
A sheriff in the U.S. is also usually a county or city official, which is traditionally elected. There are exceptions, however. The sheriff of New York City is directly appointed by the mayor.
Ooh.
The duties of the sheriff are...
Really?
Yeah.
That's some shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The sheriff of New York City. Why only here?
They're not fucking around in New York.
That's some shit. That's
Is there a
deep.
sheriff? I didn't even know there was a sheriff in New York. But there was like the
Sheriff, the marshal.
Well, there was the police commissioner, of course.
No, but there's sheriffs out here too. Yeah.
Are there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Usually they like come get you for your car and shit like
Okay.
the marshals and shit like that.
Well, New York City.
Wow.
It's a different set of rules.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, hopefully this will create a dialogue.
And hopefully the voice, what I wanted to say is hopefully the voice of hip hop, you know what I mean, will actually, cause some people to, you know what I mean?
Well,
Cause some things to happen.
I'm sure the judge is feeling a lot of pressure over this. I'm sure the governor, who appointed the judge, is feeling pressure. I mean, a lot of petitions are now being, now they got to rally.
But now it's also, do they respect the people who are giving the petitions? See, this could be a slap in the face and show, listen, black people, we don't care how much you fucking mobilize and talk. We don't give a fuck about how y'all feel on certain issues. Now, if this was any other ethnic group, you know what I mean? We probably would be taking this more seriously. You know what I mean? If it was a Jewish fucking celebrity that this happened to and all the fucking Hasidic Jews rallied at the court and all, oh, we're going to have to look at this because we can't have them upset. But when it comes to black people in America, your motherfuckers going to find out. You're going to find out, like, we believe that, oh, we got the same rights as everybody else. Time and time again, they show you. No, you don't. No, you don't. So, let's see what happens.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I hope Meek seriously takes this as a wake-up call because I feel very talented, very charismatic, you know. But remember there was a
He
whole...
was locked up already, though, right?
Well, remember there was the whole situation where he was leaving the country, touring with Nicki when he was supposed to be checking in and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, okay.
You know, I feel that there was a certain level where he just didn't take his probation as seriously as he should. You know? Like I have friends that got out of jail, they were on probation, and they didn't do shit until their probation was done. Let's go. Nah, I'm cool. I'm on probation. You want to smoke this? No, I'm cool. Go ahead. I'd be smoking weed around them, and they'd be like, nah, I'm on probation. I'm not going back to jail over a fucking joint. Like, fuck out of here.
Well, parole is...
Parole, whatever, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen this. I've seen this firsthand. You know, and Meek has the potential to create generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People love this guy.
Yeah.
Are you going to take it seriously? Or are you going to keep catering to a group of people who are not taking it as seriously as you are? You know, because...
And not being affected to the degree that
not
you're
at all.
being affected.
Because someone... I saw a meme. I don't know if this is totally true, but they said every time you see Meek doing shows or whatever, he got 30 dudes with him. But here he is in court, walking into court by himself.
And that's deep in a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Unless they weren't allowed to, unless it was some sort of closed off court, but that's deep.
Yeah.
You see? Where are y'all motherfuckers now? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure the day of shows, and I know how this be, like, he getting calls all day from all kind of motherfuckers. Yo, I want to go to the show.
Yeah.
Where we gonna meet up?
Yeah.
What about my court day?
Yeah.
Do I get that many calls? Yo, what time you gotta go to court? Do I have to wear a suit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are you getting calls like that?
For real.
That's deep.
For real.
That's deep. You can't just be there for the good times and for the flossing and all of that. And you gotta look and see, okay, these guys was around for the flossing. Now who's around when the shit is fucked up?
And watch what happens when he cuts a lot of them dudes off. How they gonna be on
shit.
Instagram talking shit, how he fake and how he was never there for him, and even though
saved him this many times. And
yeah,
all, like
he ain't really from the streets, and he, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had that happen to me. Motherfuckers who I've taken on trips with me and taken them out to eat and did that, and the one time I tell them no. Oh yeah. Oh, you gonna spend some money on some fuck shit, but you gonna tell me no. Like, really, motherfucker? This your money too now?
Right, you counting my pockets and all this other shit.
Really?
Like, I'm the type of motherfucker, there was times when, we'd bring out a big crew just because you want to make everybody happy. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, I don't be rolling with no big crew. A lot of times I roll by myself because that's the motherfucker you can really count on. And you know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about telling this motherfucker whether, what to do and is he going to comply when the shit happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm with me. You know what I mean? I don't need no bodyguards and all that. I'm good. You know what I mean? And however many years in this shit, you ain't hear about us having beef and all of that type of shit with motherfuckers because we don't move like that. And if we do have a crew of motherfuckers with us, it's definitely motherfuckers that respect me to the point where if I say, chill, these niggas gonna chill. And if I say get them, they gonna get them.
Yeah, when we did our live event.
Huh?
When we did our live event. We was, both me and you was.
Yeah.
We were dangerous that night.
Okay.
We were waiting for
We
someone
had
to
plants in the plants in the fucking audience.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wish a nigga would run up here right now.
Yeah. I was like, let a motherfucker try to run up at this event. See what happens. I felt sorry for whoever did that. So I interviewed John Sally.
Right.
Recently. And we were talking about the Ball family.
Right.
And he said,
none of his kids get arrested. None of them have been in any scandals.
Yes.
Everybody is what you consider to be a beautiful child with a great family, loving of his wife. He got his family unit tight.
Chyna gives a fuck about how you feel or how much money you got.
Right.
You come in here stealing some shit? Because I heard that the minimum he gonna get is being banned from China. Which you may say, oh, who cares? But for someone who's entering into the NBA potentially, you know, is what they're saying, and China is a huge market. You know, you always hear of professional players going to China, whether they're playing or exhibition based. You know, he's fucking up some future shit.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say about that. Like, he's a young kid. He probably thought, you know, the security was lax over there compared to some American shit. You understand? The shit was probably just sitting out there. He thought, you know what I mean? He just thought it was sweet. Like, he ain't know.
Man, you do not want to steal from the Louis store. They are on it.
I'm saying he probably thought that the Chinese shit was not as,
man.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
What do you think of the Ball family in general?
I mean, I'm not following them like that, but for what I see, you got a man who's bringing up his sons who has a clear-cut vision for what he wants them to do and how he wants them to move. You know, he's almost reminds me of like Serena and them's pops, like as far as, you know, he crafted him. You said he fucking, you know.
Yeah.
He's a Yakub of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, like I recently went to Complex Con where I heard, you know, he did a talk with the president of Complex, Rich Antonello. And what he said, what I thought was kind of interesting, was that he said there was no plan B. He said, you know, a lot of people, you know, they're like 80 in, 20, you know, but the 20% is the plan B. He said there was no 20%. He said he was 100%. And he said these kids are going to be professional basketball players. This is how we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're going to do.
That's the power of the mind, Blac. Everything that's in your life starts in your mind.
Yeah.
From a decision that you made previously. You wearing them kicks because you saw the motherfuckers and you said, I like those and I want to buy a pair. Now you have them. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You weren't 20%, maybe I'll get it. No, I'm definitely getting these. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Vlad TV started for me just picking up a camera one day and just filming the shit.
And being determined, have a certain determined idea. Okay? So this man had a determined idea to make basketball player. You know what I mean? And bang. He made, how many kids he got?
3.
He got 3, and they all nice, and they all look like they might go to the NBA.
Yeah, well, one is already, you know, essentially the face of the Lakers.
That's a testament to focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And truly believing in your thoughts and having faith in the unseen. And when everybody else tells you that some shit is crazy or whatever the case may be, you still sticking to your guns and having faith in your dream.
Well, Michelle Obama recently did a speech. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No.
But she was talking about the raising of men.
Right. Oh, I saw a piece of it, and she was like...
She said that we love our boys and we raise our girls, but are we protecting them too much?
Right.
Basically saying that you're putting more responsibility on the girls, but when the boys fuck up, you kind of give them a pass,
Right.
in a way, because you're protecting them.
Right.
Now, you have a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you did that to a certain degree?
Did I gave them a pass? Gave a boy the pass over the girl?
Yeah.
Nah.
No?
Nah, I don't.
You're
I
just
wouldn't
as tough
say
on
so.
both of them.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. I don't, yeah, I don't play. I don't play that shit. And yeah, my son did quite a few things that I didn't just let it slide. You know what I mean? I was trying to raise this motherfucker and teach him, right from left. And I don't think I was soft on him because he was a boy. You know what I mean?
She said, the problem in the world today is that we love our boys and we raise our girls. We raise them strong, and sometimes we take care not to hurt men. And I think we pay for that a little bit. And that's a we thing because we are raising them, and it's powerful to have strong men, but what does that strength mean? Does it mean respect? Does it mean responsibility? Does it mean compassion? Or are we protecting our men too much so they feel a little entitled? And a little self-righteous sometimes. That's kind of on us too as women and mothers as we nurture men and push girls to be perfect.
So we should push everyone to be perfect, huh? What is perfect, though?
Right.
These are all questions of life. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is perfect?
Yeah, no such thing. No such thing.
Well, actually, there is. But what you don't realize what perfect is because you think the bad things make it imperfect. But actually, the bad shit is part of the perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always said this. Like, you can't create something by just thinking about doing it. You have to start it and you have to fuck up and you have to fail. When I look at my company, for example, like, we've had way more failures than successes, like by far. Like, how many websites have I shut down? Like, you know what I mean? For every Vlad TV, there's a Hollywood Heavy, there's a Tech Eater, there's a bunch of, Celebrity School Pics. There's a bunch of websites that literally are just not around anymore. That's okay.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. You have to be able to fuck
Stop.
up. No.
You didn't let your failures say, oh, that didn't work, I'm not gonna. I know I'm on to the right thing. I just gotta find the right formula, but I'm not gonna give up just because I failed. So,
You have to be able to fail repeatedly. You have to be able not to just talk about doing the shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, it's more important to start than to just overly plan. Because there's no way you could plan all the way through.
Right. Well, you can get stuck at different levels. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And
you get stuck, like I said, this world is manifest from your thoughts, but you can get stuck at that knowledge degree to where all you're doing is thinking. Now you got to take it to the next degree, which is wisdom, meaning the act of manifesting your knowledge, the act of doing. You know what I mean? And so now you get to 3, which is the understanding, which is the materialization of your knowledge and your actions. You see, it's the result, the sum of knowledge and action. That's what understanding is.
Yeah, I mean, success. The best definition of success that I've seen is the ability to fail repeatedly without loss of enthusiasm. I'm sure the first time you rapped, it was pretty whack.
I couldn't even get anything out. I let the beat go and I was just,
I'm sure the first beat you made was horrible.
I don't know about horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't.
It never came out.
It wasn't as good as it never came out. No.
Never came out.
No. But it was pretty damn good for my first beat.
For your first beat, yeah. Right? But by the standards of when you start releasing shit,
yeah, it wasn't to
professional
it didn't come out quality or nothing like. Yeah, this was a way long time ago.
Exactly. Like you have to be able to just fuck up and keep getting better, and fuck up again and keep getting better.
Well. For example, like with the acting shit, right? For every part that I've gotten, do you know how many fucking auditions I went to that I didn't get it?
How many?
I can't count.
10, 20?
Probably. I'd say maybe on average 15, maybe, let's say, per every one that I got. You see? And it's crazy, like, you know what I mean? But you gotta you can't let that shit just go, oh, I didn't get the last 10. This shit ain't for me. Like, nah. I know I did my damn thing. Who knows why they didn't fucking choose you? Like, you know what I mean? I could have been too tall, too short, you know, too slim, too fucking handsome. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when I interviewed Michael Rappaport, he told me that his role in Higher Learning was actually supposed to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
So when Tupac pulled out, who you knew was special too, but the trouble had already started. You know, then Gwyneth Paltrow pulled out and Jennifer Connelly came in, and then I switched over to Leonardo's role, which was my idea. I wanted it.
Turned out.
Turned out good, but you know, like it was like he wasn't there, and I always felt I wasn't totally right for the part that Cole Hauser played, the older skinhead, and I'd have to put on weight, and I was like, I want this part. I knew I wanted that part, and so I talked to John about it. He had me come in, and it was just me, John Singleton, and Ice Cube, and he was like, all right, go ahead.
Boom, that ended up being his breakout role. I mean, he was cool in Zebrahead, but that was like his breakout role. And now, whatever, 20-something years later.
Yeah, man. You just gotta, you know, faith is it. And I'm not talking, you know, faith like a religious faith. You know what I mean? I'm talking faith in yourself, faith in your creations. You know what I mean? Faith in your mental creation and saying that it's gonna happen. Always having that attitude, like it's gonna happen. Like I've always just had that attitude. Like I just feel like there's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and I've always been like that. Like nobody had to like send me to a seminar. I got to read a book. Like I just always naturally felt like not all rules apply to me. Number one, because I'm fucking special.
And what's interesting is when you act around insecure people like that, they'll try to say you're arrogant, egotistical. It's interesting. I've heard that.
Since I was young. Like, I had haters before haters
was a term.
were even a thing. Seriously. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Playboy Cardi is now linked to Blac Chyna.
Okay.
I feel like men will never learn, man. You throw a fat ass in a dude's face, real or not.
And they got some fame?
Yeah.
Because that's part of it, too.
You think
like,
that yeah.
Yeah, the fact that they're famous to some sort of degree, you know, ups the pussy value for a lot of these guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as
just a random stripper.
Exactly. Because there's strippers that look better than her. You understand what I'm saying? But they're not as famous. The fact that she has, you know, that Kardashian aura around her, and she got, you know, just everything that surrounds her. You know what I mean? That whole energy. People want to attach themselves to that type of shit. I mean, that's a science, first of all. Like, you attach yourself to what's popular to make yourself more popular. This is why people wear name brands and shit like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When you wear Louis and Gucci, you feel like you're part of Louis and Gucci.
Well, yeah, wearing something valuable makes you feel like you're valuable.
Exactly. When it shouldn't, really.
Yeah.
But
and I'm guilty of that. You know, as I say with my Rolex watch and my Supreme sneakers, like, yeah, I feel a certain type of, that aura has rubbed off on me.
And even, you know, forget the materialistic part of it, just being around certain people will make, you see, this is why you got sucker motherfuckers who think they live because they're hanging around live motherfuckers. They're hanging around real gangsters and real street motherfuckers, and now they're starting to feel like they really street just by association.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to talk about street dudes. I remember some dudes from Dre's camp wanted to use some of my footage, and the conversation with them, it was like so like arrogant and demeaning, and I'm just like,
how do you think somebody's gonna do anything for you
Yeah.
the way you're talking right now?
yeah, I'm like, first of all, I'm thinking you're not Dre, number one, just
Right.
because you work for Dre,
Right.
I'm not impressed, like, number one, and like the way you're talking to me right now is fucking ridiculous, because honestly, oh yeah, if you let us use this, Dre might give you a shout out. Like, I don't give a fuck about a damn shout out. Here's the price.
Right.
Y'all want to pay this or not? Because really, I'm here. This is a business. Like, I give a fuck about a shout out. Like, oh, we don't even have to go through you. Like, no, actually, you do. If you want to use this right here,
I'm the one you gotta go through.
you're the one going to go through. And ultimately, nothing happened. But it was like, and I've dealt with this, like some people around Jay and blah, blah. You get this weird sort of arrogance.
Because they start to feel that they are this person by osmosis. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for real. They feel like I'm taking some of his energy with me.
Yeah.
And so now, when I walk into a certain office, you kind of need to respect me with that same respect that you would give the person whose energy I'm vampirizing right now.
I'm part him.
Basically.
If you talk shit to me, you really talk shit to Jay.
You
Like,
see?
No, I'm not. I'm just talking.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking shit to you.
Yeah.
It's only you.
Right.
But that's how, you see what I'm saying? So people will attach themselves to what they feel is popular. Now, a lot of these young rappers that's just coming up right now, like, half of them went from, like, recording in their mom's, crib in their bedroom last month, maybe.
Right.
To now being able to fuck with broads like Blac Chyna and, her fucking friend Amber Rose and all these other ones. You understand? Like, that's gonna fuck their mind up. Just the fact that these girls even know who they are, got these niggas ready to nut in their fucking pants. Oh shit. She knows who I am. You see? And now, not only does she know who I am, she's acting like she wanna give me some pussy. Mine's fucking gone now.
Right.
Now you're out of your right mind. You see what I'm saying? You got the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. You're out of your right mind now. You're all up in your left mind. And you left all your senses
Right.
at the fucking door.
And now you got a baby with her?
Who?
Whoever,
right.
Whoever
Oh, yeah,
this
now you
female
gotta-
is. Now you got a baby with her?
And now you done found out she crazy
Right. But you knew it the whole time.
and vindictive
And angry.
and angry. And maybe a fucking whore who's gonna fuck your friends and all kind of shit, or
Right.
fuck dudes around your baby and all this kind of crazy shit.
Wearing your Versace robe. And none of this was a secret. You knew all this before you got with her. You think things are gonna work out better with you than things with Blac Chyna than things worked out with Tiger or Rob Kardashian? Really? You think things are gonna be totally different this time around? You really think so?
I mean, unless you're like some higher quality of man that can actually like whip a broad like that into shape. You see what I'm saying? Like, because right now, though, they're training you. Unless you know how to train them.
Well, a lot of times these girls are older too than dudes. Because
Thank you.
China's definitely older than Playboy Cardi.
Which makes sense.
She can
have more control.
Amber's older than 21 Savage.
She can
By
have
good,
more
like
control.
10
She
years
don't
or
want-
something.
They don't want nobody older than them because then they're going to be controlled and they don't want to be controlled. So let them go for some little young motherfucker that they can control. He got a lot of sexual energy, so, maybe the nuts are not that long, but there's a lot of them. Like, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's why they do that type of shit.
Yeah, and
They don't want a real motherfucker that's going to be like, listen,
Sit
I
your
don't
ass
know what the
down.
fuck you been doing with all these other motherfuckers, but I'm not that motherfucker. Get your ass over here. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. And you know, I'm just gonna guess. If you out here claiming a chick in public, I can almost guarantee you that you hitting it raw.
Oh yeah.
You're not using condoms with her.
You telling you love her and all that. You probably raw dogging it.
Probably raw dogging it. And I could almost guarantee you Blac Chyna don't know what a birth control pill look like.
Hey. I don't know, man. Like, this is what leads me to believe that there's a lot of, you know, just inexperienced dudes in the game right now. Like, I was seasoned before I got in the game. You see? Like, no Blac Chynas or none of these could have did none of this to me. They would have been mad when they got to me. They would have been so tight. Cause the ones they don't like is they'd have been like, is the niggas that just knock them off and don't go for the plan and send them on their way. Fuck him, I don't like that motherfucker. Why? Cause he fucked you and didn't fucking gets Fingali'd by your ass? You know what I mean? He fucking was able to resist your fucking, you know, whatever you fucking doing to these motherfuckers. And now you just gave away some free pussy in your mind because you always feel like you should get something for giving your pussy too, which is, you know, prostitution on a different scale, you know.
Well, you know, I mean, I've heard stories about Blac Chyna before she, you know, while she was still stripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into it, but
come on,
y'all can put them pieces together.
Listen, there's a lot of strippers you're going to hear stories about that. That's how you're going to really make ends meet a lot of times, like, you know?
Right.
No pun intended. Make ends meet.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen. I mean, I'm not saying every stripper, you know, escorts on the side, but I'll say the majority of them do.
Yeah.
The majority. And it might not even be standard prostitution, however you do it, but, you know, you got a dude that spends some money. If you want to, you know, there's some more money on the way if you come back to the crib. That's your little
if it's a fucking hand job, like that's, you know,
yeah,
it's prostitution.
Yeah.
Get paid to bring somebody to sexual fruition.
Right.
That's fucking prostitution, no matter how it happened.
Yeah, man.
Even if there's no penetration.
I remember Gary Owen did this whole spiel on, you know, on his Instagram where he's talking about Tyrese.
Tyrese, come on, man. We're rooting for you. You know what you got to do? You got to stop hanging out with celebrities. Get some regular friends. Because Will Smith and all your celebrity friends you're saying aren't there for you, get regular people. I got regular friends. I got celebrity friends, but who I call on a day-to-day basis, regular people. I got a friend who's a school teacher. One's a construction worker. One's a painter. And the other one sells insurance. Those are my 4 best friends. Not in the entertainment business, but if I called them, if I needed something, they'd be there for me. See, I figure if I wear this shit, maybe you'll pay attention to me. Regular friends, Tyrese, don't worry about the celebrity friends. My regular friends are going to call me when they see this and be like, what the fuck did you have a fur on inside your house for, Gary? And a beanie. Because I look ridiculous. And they're going to tell me I do.
This applies to women as well, man. Like, you know, if you have a certain amount of fame, you don't necessarily want to fuck with a chick who's doing the same shit as you. Right. Most of these really successful men
have women that don't even do nothing.
You don't even see them.
And that's how their shit lasts longer.
Right.
Okay? Because when you got the woman all up in the videos and on the remixes and shit like that, you know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yeah, because I remember I interviewed Usher's ex-wife, Tamika Raymond. And I remember saying, like, why didn't you just play the back role? You know, when you and Usher got married, you married to Usher. But, you know, I want to experience the award shows. I want to be part of that. But look what ultimately happened. You got so caught up in that that you flew down to Brazil to get a bunch of plastic surgery and you almost died.
When they anesthetized me to do the anesthesia,
Yeah.
I went into cardiac arrest. My heart just flipped out. Yeah, I must have been allergic, or they put damn embalming fluid. I don't know what they do something, but it was so stupid. Like, come on, you had a baby 3 months ago. You have a pooch because you have a big uterus. You just had a baby. Hello?
Yeah.
Why are you going to be insecure based off of comments,
Right.
based off of blogs?
So you think that kind of drove you?
Oh, sure.
See, a lot of times, to be real, a lot of these broads want you to take them and bring up their stature so that if you fuck around and leave them or something, they'll be in now certain circles where they can get another man who is like, you know what I mean, of the same caliber.
Yeah,
or that somebody they could leave you for, or whatever.
Right, or they could get their own Basketball Wives type show, or something like
whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a whole bunch of fronting, and they want to flex, and you know what I mean, and just I want to be seen, and I want to buy that dress to walk on red carpet and all this other shit. Like, knock it off. If you want to have a happy relationship and all of that, especially in this celebrity shit, try to keep your shit as, you know what I mean, out of the public eye as possible.
Yeah, the happiest
because
dudes.
The more scrutiny, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The happiest dudes that I know in this industry have wives and girlfriends that you never hear about.
Like, think about just the fact that we could even sit here and talk about people's relationships because they put it out there like that. Like, and now think about all the unnecessary comments and inputs that come to that relationship.
Yeah.
And could possibly poison the relationship.
100%.
Your woman could see a comment, or you could see a comment from somebody, some inconsequential fat motherfucker who's eating cheese doodles, in North Dakota some fucking where, and they said some shit that got under your skin or got under your woman's skin, and now
you got a situation.
Whereas you keep your shit private. You know what I mean? You're a celebrity, but she's not a celebrity. You not fucking, putting your shit on blast all the time. Who can say anything? Who could tell, you know what I mean? Because you'll have people talk shit about your choices. Oh, that's who you chose? You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. Give a fuck about what y'all think about my life. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck are you anyway? But you got people that are real thirsty for fame, recognition, and the prospect of money.
Yep. That's how we gonna end it. Lord Jamar, till next time.
Peace.